Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 76. In this episode, I will be sharing why Nancy is so stinking badass. And if you liked the last episode as much as I did, then I would encourage you to join Let's Be Badass. She was our first guest. Imagine getting the chance to watch this live and then also getting to ask questions that you want to hear, right? If you liked this, definitely join Let's Be Badass. There's also going to be a worksheet to help you kind of work through some of the nuggets that Nancy had to share. And then also an accountability group, like a Facebook group, and then calls where you're working with other people who are badasses or aspiring to be badasses. In my opinion, if you're aspiring and you're pushing yourself, you are badass. But we're going to have phone calls and you're not going to be you're not going to have to share your deepest, darkest secrets, right? But it is a chance to kind of see what other people are going through, maybe realize that other people are going through the same thing that you are, and then push past some of our limiting beliefs. We're just going to kind of work through some of the stuff. Every month there's a theme. And we're going to do work together based on that theme. In the actual podcast episode, there should be a little notes section where it has the stuff about this episode. You can go to the show notes and find the link for Let's Be Badass. You can also catch the replay of this and still get the worksheet and still make the accountability call. We would love to have you. So join today. Let's get to the episode already. Why is Nancy Feinstein so badass? I think that Nancy is so badass because first, she got over her stage fright. Second, she shares I feel statements to kids, or she shares how they can express their feelings. And third, she chose to chase her dream at 40 years old. And the fourth reason why Nancy is so badass is because she uses the power of yet. And she says you can add that to almost any sentence to empower you, or to empower yourself, encourage yourself to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, maybe I took that too far. All right, so let's get to it. The first thing, Nancy talked about how she has horrible stage fright, like how she is just terrified to be in front of people. But yet, she has overcome it. Or actually, she still struggles with it. She still is terrified. And she even said just talking about it makes her get butterflies in her stomach or feel like she's going to puke, right? But she does it anyway. How crazy. Sometimes you just have to do it and know that you're going to get through it, right? Even if you mess it up to the nth degree, you know that you can still get through it. So she did a meet the candidate she's the VP for the Board of Education, and she had to run for that spot and do a meet the candidate interview in front of people. Can you imagine? If you have stage fright and having to do that? But she did it anyway. And that's the huge takeaway here is do it scared. Do it even though, you don't know if you're going to mess up. You don't know if you're going to fail. You don't know if you're going to win that candidacy, right? She didn't know if she would win. She was terrified to just do it. But she did it anyway. And she talked about showing up live and how that can be kind of nerve-wracking, like showing up live on social media. And one time she fell during a workout routine. Okay, so what? It happened. Get back up and keep on going. And that's exactly what she did. So even though she is still dealing with that stage fright, she is pushing past it. And sometimes those are like the most powerful experiences. Those are the most life-changing experiences. It's the things that you do that you didn't think you could do, or the things that were so hard for you, but you did it anyway. Those are going to be the things that you're most proud of. And if you have moments like that where you have done something that you thought you couldn't do, or you did something that terrified you, keep recalling that moment. Like, recall the moment that you overcame it, or that you did it anyway. You did it scared. Sometimes when we remember our past moments of courage, it empowers us to be courageous again. Because you remember that feeling of what it felt like to overcome that hardship. So maybe even take a second now, or take a second after this episode, and just recall a moment where you did something you didn't think you could do. You are so badass. Keep doing the hard things, putting in the work. So yes, that was so badass how Nancy pushed past her stage fright. Now it's your turn. All right. The second thing that I think is so badass is how Nancy is part of a program called Girls on the Run, and she teaches like 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders how to express how they feel. Now, this is going to be a simple little step, or these are simple little steps that she teaches them, but actually, could you not use it in your own life? Yes, I think so. So she said to say, or this is what she teaches the girls, is I feel, and then say how you feel, when you, and then list the action, because, and then say, follow that up with, I would like for you to continue, or I would like for you to, whatever it might be. So I feel sad when you yell at me because it hurts my feelings. I would like for you to stop yelling at me and just communicate with me, right? Something as simple as that. But even grown adults, we have a hard time expressing ourselves sometimes, and we don't know what to say, or you just expect the other person to be a mind reader, and they're just not. So we often have to say what we want. But how badass would that be to start teaching that to your young kids? To start teaching them how to express what they're feeling, and then how to express what they want. Because then it doesn't leave any room for, it doesn't leave a gray area, right? Because you fully know what it is that that other person wants. So remember, I feel, when you, because, and I would like for you to. Try it. Or maybe if you have young ones, teach it to them. It's so helpful to have words for what you're feeling, right? And then to be able to share that. So the third thing that I think is so badass is how Nancy chased her dream of teaching fitness at a boutique. She did this at 40 years old. How freaking awesome. So she talks about having this dream, having this like just urge inside of her for 10 years and not doing anything about it. She was in her day job, wanting to do fitness, but just was like, I'm too old. Who's going to want me? And she talked about a simple mindset shift to just say, instead of who's going to want me, it's who wouldn't want me. So you could say that to yourself too. Who wouldn't want you? Like, you are so badass. You are of such value. Bring whatever is unique to you, bring that to the world. It is not too late. I don't care if you're 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever, however old you are, it is never too late to get started. And that's not just me sitting here being Pollyanna-ish. It's like, what would you regret more? Not doing it? Like sitting on your deathbed and not having done the thing that you always wanted to do? Or doing it and then failing at it? Or doing it and making mistakes along the way? Who cares? Like, what's more inspiring? To me, it's doing that thing. And so if Nancy could switch and be a total badass as a fitness coach or a fitness trainer, she's a total badass, right? She's 50 years old and she is rocking it because she made the decision at 40 to turn things around. She made the decision to just go for what she wanted, to stop making excuses, to say, who wouldn't want me? So where in your life are you making excuses? Where in your life are you saying, why would they want me? Why would I be good? Who would even pay attention to me? No, you are worth paying attention to. The world needs to see what you have to offer. And more than that, like, you need to see what you have to offer. You need to believe in yourself and just put yourself out there. Put yourself in the uncomfortable situations. I think that you're going to find that you're going to be so much more fulfilled doing that thing that you want to do, even if you're not perfect at it. Nobody's perfect. You know, we talked about that, like how many times it's just you have bloopers or you have mistakes or things go wrong. That's human. Everybody makes mistakes. So you could look at Coach Nan right now and you could be like, oh my gosh, she is so badass. Like, she is just so badass and totally just the perfect fitness coach or perfect trainer. But she wasn't always that way. She had to work to get there. It took time. At this point, she's 10 years into that career. But then she kept saying, like, oh, what if I had started earlier? What if I had started earlier? You can get rid of some of those what ifs if you just start. So what is it that you can start today? Chase that dream. All right. And the fourth thing that I thought was so stinking badass was how Nancy said to use the word yet and to add it to the end of any sentence, and how it can be a game changer. 3 letters. Y-E-T, and how that can change. So maybe you're saying, I can't do it. Nancy recommends to change it to, I can't do it yet. I don't know how. Say, I don't know how to do it yet, or I don't know how yet. Everything isn't so final. And sometimes if we remind ourselves that there's still time, there's still a way to do it, and just because you don't know how to do it yet doesn't mean that you won't be able to do it later, right? You just have to find a way to figure it out or take the next step. Even if you're not where you want to be, again, you're not where you want to be yet. Sometimes it's just about putting things into perspective. We can go down this negativity rabbit hole, and what does it really do for you? Does it ever help you being negative and thinking all these bad thoughts about yourself? I don't know about you, but typically it has not helped me because I just go further and further down that rabbit hole once I start. Another thing that I thought was very powerful was Nancy said, you can make a yes, a no, because you can't do it yet. So something that you could otherwise do, you could talk yourself into saying no just because you can't do it yet. But how will you ever do it if you don't start? So definitely start implementing the word yet into your routine. Start putting it in your vocabulary. And then when you catch yourself saying something negative, throw a yet at the end of that sentence. So badass. I really loved it. So I know I'm going to start trying to use yet more in my vocabulary. Like whenever I catch myself talking down to myself, that's what I'm going to throw in there. Throw in a yet. Friend, I got to tell you, you're not done yet. There is more for you out there. So just a quick recap. Why Nancy Feinstein is so stinking badass is because she pushes past her stage fright, even though she feels it all the time. She teaches kids and also practices, or she teaches kids how to express how they feel. Third, she started chasing her dream of teaching fitness in a boutique at 40 years old. And the fourth thing is the power of the word yet. Start adding yet to the end of a negative sentence that you're using. All right, that is it for today. If you like this episode, you can definitely join Let's Be Badass, and you can find the link in the show notes. And then also hit me up on Instagram. Letcoach.nan, that's her handle on Instagram. Let her and I know what you thought of this episode. Let her know why she is so badass. She would love to hear the feedback, I am sure. All right, to all the badass women out there, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.